Hey, good morning, church. I've got a couple of really exciting news items to share with you today. First of all, in just over a week, June the 6th and the 7th, our Youth Ministry Search Committee has invited the first of our youth minister candidates to come and spend the weekend with us for a time of sharing. Nick Wynn, who many of us know, has been with us many times before, will be here to meet with our elders and our search committee. He's going to spend some time with our youth group and our office staff. And then on that Sunday, June the 7th, he'll be bringing the message to us during worship. And we're looking forward to that. Thank you for the Youth Ministry Search Committee for all the work that you guys have done in this. A second candidate will be coming by the end of June, and we look forward to meeting him as well. More information on that later. But that brings me to my second bit of exciting news, and that is that this Sunday, May the 31st, we are back at the building. That's right, back at the building for real, live, old-fashioned, meet at the church worship service. And I hope you are planning on being with us this Sunday. Now, the first thing you'll notice that is different, we want to make some accommodations to make it as safe and responsible as possible for everybody. And the first thing you'll notice is that we'll be having two services, one at 8:30 in the morning and one at 10:30 in the morning. And then our service groups will be meeting in the evenings with an assembly here, with a small group assembly here at 5 o'clock. But the 8:30 and the 10:30 service, we encourage folks to come. It'll be the same service, same scripture, same message. Come at either 8:30 or 10:30. We do encourage our older folks and maybe those who are particularly at risk to come to our earlier service. The second thing you'll notice when you come into the front door of the building is that our front doors are going to be open, so nobody has to touch the door handles. We won't have everybody touching those. And as you walk into our foyer, you'll probably see this sign. You've seen this sign everywhere around town. Of course, just a reminder that if you're sick, you think you've been exposed to the virus, don't put others at risk by exposing them. And we understand that, of course. We trust you to know to do that. At this table, we've got masks. If you want to pick up a mask, you don't have a mask, you want to pick one up and wear it, you are welcome to. These were provided to us from the health department. We appreciate them sharing these with us. And of course, you'll see over my shoulder hand sanitizer, which is everywhere. Take one of these masks. You can wash it. They're reusable. You throw it in the laundry and walk about town in them. As you come into the auditorium, only thing different, we've done our best to kind of rope off some pews just to way of open every other pew to encourage some social distancing. And I know that it's going to seem weird at first, but the idea is all of the pews will be cleaned first thing Sunday morning. Every other pew is open, and then between services, our deacons are going to come through. They're going to wipe them down again, and they're going to move the ropes here and open the other pews. Again, to just allow for the most effective, safest environment that we can. We were encouraged this past week. I noticed that the CDC is saying now that possible transmission of this virus is minimal from contacting surfaces, and so we were encouraged by that. We'd already taken out the upholstery just to allow for ease of our cleaning capabilities. Now you'll notice as you have a seat in the pew here that the communion supplies have already been preloaded, so to speak. They've already been preset here in the pews, and so we moved our time of communion to closer towards the close of our service. But during the communion, you can just take this. It's the portable communion pack that many of us have been using during this time of quarantine at home. And since we're moving the communion service towards the end of the service, you'll be able to just drop these off in the trash bin on your way out. In the windows, we will have a collection plate for the offering and such like that. Our deacons are going to do the best that they can to clean the pews in between our services, and we're, for that purpose, going to do our best to keep our service 45 minutes. So we'll do our best on that. Now, this is what phase 2 is going to look like right now. And I'm sure after a few weeks that we'll ease into a bit more of a normal routine. Our elders are going to continue to monitor the situation, guidelines provided by the CDC and other healthcare authorities, and they'll be making adjustments as we go accordingly. We don't know how long this phase 2 might last. We do hope it doesn't last all that long. We'll be back and getting into some degree of normalcy very soon. And I will say this, we understand if some decide that it is not the right time for them to come back just yet. Maybe you decided for safety and health reasons not to come back into the assembly. We respect that. We honor that. We want to continue to provide you resources online for your worship at home. And we encourage you to make use of those. We want to continue to serve you, and Lord willing, as I said, we'll get back to a degree of normalcy very soon. Now let me say this. I believe this is a real opportunity for us, church. A real opportunity for us to demonstrate greater unity in the Spirit, in the bond of peace than maybe we ever have before. That we demonstrate greater love for one another, bearing with one another, considering others before ourselves, looking after one another, and being a tremendous witness for Christ in our community. Or it can be a time of division. It can be a time of great negativity, as I think we're seeing across our nation. It can be a time for both of these. Let me share with you this chart that I have actually shared across social media. I've seen it on Facebook. It comes from some ministry friends of mine, and it's been widely shared across social media. I think it perfectly illustrates something of the dilemma that our elders face in us coming back. Now, as you notice this chart, it's not me, but it's our elders who are really in the middle here. They're our pastors. But surely you see some of the different perspectives that we are hearing from folks. Perspectives as diverse as, well, we shouldn't ever open the building again. Home is so much better. I don't know if anybody's really saying that. But we need to open the church building and open it now. I need to be there. What are you waiting for? To others, you can't open the church. It's such a huge risk, and you're wrong to do so. Of course, everybody has their 25 things that need to be done before you can open up the building. We've got folks saying, hey, this is all just a big hoax. It's a conspiracy, a media frenzy. Read this article. Check out this link. Do not be afraid. And of course, there are still others who will remind us, well, my wife or my husband or my dad or my grandparent died from COVID-19. A reminder that we are taking this very seriously. Maybe your opinion is represented here. Maybe you would add another bubble to this chart. But the point is, there are a lot of different ideas out there, a lot of different opinions about the way things should be, about the things that we should do, the things that we should not be doing. And surely you can appreciate here how difficult it is for our shepherds to lead during this time when there are so many competing voices. So church, I want to ask you to keep these principles that we've been trying to remind ourselves of throughout this whole pandemic time, throughout this whole quarantine. Love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love one another just as we love ourselves. If we would remember those two things, Jesus said those are the two greatest commandments. Love God, love one another. I think if we would keep those before us, it will go a long way to helping us weather this transition and demonstrate that kind of unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. So one of the most often asked questions that I have gotten over these last couple of weeks has been, all right, Jim, when I come to worship, do I have to wear a mask? Listen, I am not going to tell you what you have to do. Nobody's going to do that. But I will tell you this. I've decided I'm going to wear a mask, and I'll explain to you why. At least for the first few Sundays, this is the reason. The medical community, we've been trying to pay attention to what the medical community, the healthcare professionals are telling us. They are still telling us that while wearing a mask may not protect me from getting this virus, it is helpful in protecting others from me if I were a carrier or had the virus and didn't know it. So for that reason, I've decided I'm going to wear one. I want others to know that I'm doing all that I know to do, except maybe hunker in a cave, hibernate in a cave for months on end and never come into contact with anybody, that I'm doing everything I know to do to look after them, to look after you, to look after others, to consider others before myself, as Paul talks about in Philippians 2. And I know that when we come together in the worship assembly, there's going to be those who, for whatever reason, are probably more vulnerable than I am. This isn't out of fear. I'm not afraid of getting sick, but I do not want to give it to anybody else. And so I want everybody else to know that I'm taking that very seriously, and out of love and consideration for others, I'm going to do that. The masks are available. They're free. Why not? Now, that being said, there may be some who, for whatever reason, cannot wear a mask or for good reason choose not to. And I'm not going to tell them not to. I'm not going to tell you not to come to the worship assembly on Sunday. But man, I am so looking forward to us being back together. Even if it is in 2 services and there's some things that are going to be a little different, I'm so looking forward to us all being back together, to seeing everybody's faces again. Maybe even if it is only half of a face. I'm looking forward to the fellowship and to the community, to the family that we are when we are together. Now, even though I may not be given hugs, we're not going to do that, and I'm gonna keep my Romans 16:16 sermon on ice for a while, but we're looking forward to this. Thank you for taking the time to listen to these thoughts for whatever they're worth. I hope you'll consider them heartfelt from this minister to you. May God bless you. I love you all and cannot wait to see you on Sunday.